You ever wondered what it'd be like if animals could understand you? We've all fantasized about getting inside our pets' heads and hearing what they have to say, or having them understand you yelling at them for pooping on the carpet. What if we could bark in their language? Or communicate in high and low frequencies and understand the language of bats and dolphins? Or talk to snakes like Harry Potter? It could be a dream come true, especially for zoologists and animal lovers. But a world where animals and humans can understand each other could have some serious implications. Like what? Well, stick around and find out. Welcome back to An Alternate World, the channel where we explore ways in which the world could be radically different. Talking to animals isn't a new idea. In fact, it's been explored in many movies, including the latest installment of the Planet of the Apes franchise, which depicts a world 300 years after the 2017 Planet of the Apes war. Intelligent talking apes have developed complex societies and gained dominance, while humans have been reduced to a pharaoh-like existence. They can't even talk anymore. Did you ever wonder how Caesar could communicate with humans? Well, in the first film, Rise of the Planet of the Apes, he was given an experimental drug called ALZ-112, which made him smarter and able to acquire human languages. So that was an ape learning to communicate with humans. Imagine if it could be the other way around. It's clear that animals are smart and communicate with each other through sounds, vibrations, or visual signals. Based on their unique anatomical structures, they use a variety of sounds for various reasons, whether it be to communicate, navigate, or even defend themselves. Take vervet monkeys, for example. These guys sound distinct alarm calls for different predator threats, identifying them as snakes, eagles, or leopards. They're running wildlife security in the woods. While scientists haven't deciphered the vervet language, they are breaking new ground in monitoring other animal languages with the help of AI in digital bioacoustics. How techy! They've developed portable, lightweight digital recorders with mini microphones that can be attached to animals, like a whale's back. As it swims around in the ocean, we can hear all the whale gossip via infrasonic and ultrasonic sound waves. But what do those sound waves actually mean? People can hear a lot of different frequencies, from the low rumbles of thunder far away to the high-pitched whine of a mosquito. But there are certain frequencies not detectable by the human ear, like ultrasonic and infrasonic waves. Sound waves of frequencies greater than 20,000 Hz are called ultrasonic sounds, and these are the frequencies used by bats, dogs, dolphins, and even frogs. To go into more detail, bats primarily communicate through high-frequency calls emitted through their nose and larynx. Each bat's voice has a unique sound signature that basically works as their own caller ID. These ultrasonic sounds bounce off objects in the environment around them and return as echoes, which allow bats to locate prey, navigate, and of course, communicate with one another. It's like hearing your own voice echo in a stairwell or a church, except bats can hear their echo off of everything from trees and leaves to buildings and other animals. It's the bat equivalent of high-tech GPS. Who needs Waze when you've got echolocation? On the other side of the spectrum, sound waves of frequencies below 20,000 Hz are called infrasonic sounds. The animals that use these frequencies are all about that bass. This is the language of rhinos, pigeons, and underwater animals like whales and octopuses. Crazy, huh? I can't picture a pigeon with a deep voice, if you ask me. And have you ever wondered why some human voices sound so deep compared to others? Well, humans communicate using vocal cords. The size and shape of your vocal cords create the pitch, volume, and tone of your voice. That's why each person's voice sounds so different. And whales communicate in a similar way. How, you ask? Let me explain. Baleen whales have a fold of tissues shaped like a U between their lungs and laryngeal sacs. When a whale sings, the muscles in the throat and chest contract and move air from the lungs into these laryngeal sacs, which basically inflate like a balloon. This causes the U fold to vibrate, which results in sound waves to emit and bounce off the walls in the laryngeal sac. So whales create vibrations in their throat and chest too, but instead of expelling air, they're bouncing it off on their own bodies and creating a low-frequency rumble. But don't confuse low frequency with low volume, my friends. This sounds loud enough to be heard by other whales hundreds of kilometers away. Whales have supersonic hearing, and the only thing louder than those whales' calls is the silence of marine biologists who still can't decipher their conversations. Yet, scientists have studied vocalizations emitted by these massive mammals and developed listening stations with underwater microphones and machine learning software to find patterns in their frequencies. Maybe soon they'll crack the code on why dolphins always look so smug. We could record, decipher, and reuse these same whale calls to try and communicate with them. And maybe as we do this, we could learn their language. Imagine sending a whale call to them. How do you think they'd answer? Humans can't hear the ultrasonic noises animals make to communicate. Sadly, we're out of the loop. But building on what we know already, researchers have developed ultrasonic devices that emit sounds within these frequencies to attract or repel specific animals. For example, ultrasonic devices are used to deter pests like rodents or insects without causing harm to humans or other animals. Now, we humans can bug mosquitoes the same way they bug us. Technology's definitely an aid to help us leap into animal communication. But what would it take for the human body to adapt to animal languages? For starters, our auditory system definitely needs to adapt. In dogs' ears, sound waves are funneled into the inner ear by the pinna, just like in ours. But their tiny inner bones are shaped to amplify the vibrations these sound waves do. So, if we wanted to listen to these higher frequencies, we'd probably need to develop a different inner structure of our ears. As for enunciating, we already know how to whistle and click with our mouths, and talk in our regular tones by using our vocal cords. If humans evolved to find a way to stretch and retract vocal cords to reach higher and lower frequencies, we could develop a way to communicate via ultrasonic and infrasonic sounds. Our bass tones would be just as boss as the elephant's boomboxes. There's also the practice of throat singing, which allows the throat and lungs to act as resonators to generate harmonics around a phonated tone. If human bodies evolved to have bigger rib cages and create a bigger resonating space, we could also reach even more frequencies. With all this said, the only question left is why? Why should humans learn to communicate with animals? Well, it'd be cool for one, and there are a few benefits. It could help humans and animals foster deeper respect and empathy for one another. Animals could share insights about their behaviors and habitats, and aid humans in their efforts to care for the environment and preserve their homes. Furthermore, animals have far superior senses compared to humans and can detect potential dangers such as predators or natural disasters. Collaborating with them could lead to increased safety for all species. Dogs with their keen sense of smell or birds with their aerial perspective could assist in search and rescue missions, archaeological digs, and environmental monitoring efforts. All this being said, it's important to consider ethical implications and the potential impact on animals. Hopefully, communicating across species would be beneficial for all and not be exploited to unethical ends. It could come back to bite us. After all, we don't want to fall into a scenario like Planet of the Apes, do we? So, while there could be numerous ways in which humans could communicate with animals, whether it be through adaptation or technological advancements, maybe it would be just as well if we leave them be. What do you think? What animals would you like to communicate with? Let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and tell us which alternate world we should explore next.